Hello, everyone. So, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Greta Dunn. I am currently 48 years old and I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, there's a couple things I want to talk about because I've had some issues lately as a woman that's getting older. I find that oftentimes there are things that we go through as we get older that are never discussed. So when we were teenagers or preteens, our moms talked to us about, you know, eventually we would become women and we would be flowering in some terms. We would start our menstrual cycles, which would open the floodgates for us to, eventually become moms. Some of us had moms who really talked about that. Some of us had moms that did not really talk about that. So, one of the biggest things I find that women don't talk about when we get to a certain age is menopause. So, I am at the beginning of menopause, which is called perimenopause, and apparently this can go on for quite some time. Slowly started happening. So, the first thing I noticed was that my menstrual cycle would come every now and then. So instead of being every 28 days, it went to every 36 days, every 42 days. You know, I come when I feel like it type thing. The next thing I noticed was sleeplessness. So I'm not generally an insomniac, but I have discovered over the last 4 to 5 months that I have trouble sleeping, especially at night. I can take a nap, but anything more than 4 hours, if I even get that much, unheard of. Tossing and turning, it's absolutely unfucking believable. I'm not going to be PG-13 here. I'm going to be really honest. I'm going to keep it real. I am absolutely miserable. There are plenty of books out there talking about it, but they don't tell you everything. Um, Another thing that I noticed, lower back pains. Originally, I thought it was because I was fat and I had to gain some weight because I had gained some weight. I mean, who doesn't gain weight, right? So, and then as you get over 40, you start to gain more weight, and then, over 45, and then you're like, oh my God, where's my size 4 body? Well, if you want to be a size 4 again, that's great. I don't necessarily have to be a size 4. I've been there, done that, got that t shirt. Those people who know me forever know that that body existed. Then there was the size 8 body, and then, the size 10, and now I'm like this at this perpetual 12, sometimes 14. And so as you gain weight, sometimes the first place you feel it is going to be in your lower back, right? Oh my God, there's not enough stretching, not enough losing weight, not enough working out that helps me not have this back pain. I even went to the doctor to see if something was wrong with me. No, it's just an ache that goes along with being this age. And again, it's something, sorry, the stupid braid. So again, it's just something that people do not talk about. And I'm like, why is this something that we don't talk about? Um, the hot flashes. So I didn't start having hot flashes until recently. It literally feels like you're burning from the inside out. So your body, it's like a convection oven, and it starts on the inside and you're literally burning. And like if you have on clothes, and God forbid if this happens at work, you're like, oh my God, I just want to go stick my head in the freezer. Well, you may not have that option. And there are different remedies for such a thing. So I do have hot flashes. I have them multiple times in the day. And while I do have a fan, say at work and at home, let's say if I was out in public having dinner, I wouldn't have access to that. So one of the things that I have found that works really well for that is drinking a lot of water to help regulate my body temperature and also keeping my stress level down. My job is not extremely stressful, but I have found keeping my stress level down helps to control the flashes. With the sleeplessness, I find working out, because I have started working out consistently. I average anywhere from 3 to 4 nights a week for about an hour to an hour and a half. I find that that is very beneficial and it makes me tired so that when I come home, all I really want to do is shower and sleep. Also, one of the things that I found that helps me sleep really well is lavender. So there's A young lady I know who owns a company by the name of Nature's Melody, and she makes natural, holistic products. And so I purchased her shea butter um, moisturizing balm or jar. Should actually grab it, but it's not in here. Um, and I had her infuse mine with lavender, and it has really been beneficial in helping me sleep at night. So if you're having problems sleeping like I am, you can try lavender, and it can't just be like a lavender. Oh, I'm just gonna go get a lavender plant or something. You want to have an essential oil, and you want to apply that to your body. It will help you sleep. Lower back pains, I'm going to suggest yoga. Lots of stretching. Make sure if you have a sedentary job that you get up and you walk around. Also, going to recommend that you, like I said, stretching, yoga, maybe some Pilates, but movement is necessary to alleviate the pain. And if you are overweight, even just a little bit by 10 pounds, you want to go ahead and take that weight off. It'll help alleviate a lot of the pressure. Last but not least, one of the things I've noticed that I've struggled with, especially as I've gotten older, is the hormonal lower belly fat. So, yes, I'm a mom and I'm naturally thin. But what I have noticed in my 40s is that I have this kangaroo pouch, is what I'm going to call it. And I've done the research and different things that cause it. Now, I know as women, we typically stress more than others, and we hold stress in a couple places: our shoulders, sometimes our lower back, and then the lower belly. So, cortisol is what the stress cortisol is triggered by stress, and it causes your stomach to get larger. But also as you get older, we just the weight just gathers there. I'm not sure why. I'll do more research maybe, and I definitely will do more research and come back and do a video about it. But what I have found, if you want to decrease your belly fat, you're gonna have to exercise, and remember that abs are made in the kitchen. So diet has a lot to do with how we handle menopause as well. So a lot of healthy fats. You can still have carbs, just restrict your carbs. Bread is yummy, and yes, it makes us feel better, and it releases some type of endorphins in the brain, which I think is absolutely fantastic, and I adore it. But in reality, um, I don't want the belly fat, right? I don't necessarily care how I look to other people, but I do care how I look. And then all the cute clothes, you just. But then there's that wonderful stuff called Spanx. But in the end, you're just going to have to work out or be mindful of what you put in. So, for hot flashes, my recommendation is to increase your water intake, lower your stress level. For sleeplessness, I recommend working out and adding some lavender essential oil to either your lotions or body butters. Same thing for the hormonal lower belly fat. Change of diet and exercise are going to be instrumental in the success of, keeping that down. And last but not least, the lower back pains. You're going to have to move your body, some yoga, some stretches. You don't have to do it every day, but just moving your body and not being so sedentary makes a difference. I hope these things help. I know that I wish someone had made a video for me. People will say, well, why can't you call your mom, or so forth and so on. Well, my mom passed away when I was 20 years old, so I don't have that option. And I know there are many of us out there who don't have the option to go to a mom or a grandmom or even an older sister. So I make this video for us, for those of us who don't have that stupid braid, that don't have that option. So it's definitely something that you want to take into consideration. As I continue on this journey, I will continue to make these videos for us because it's something that needs to be talked about. It's not anything to be ashamed of. It's part of getting older. And I also recognize that this really is the change of life, because we're going from being able to have babies to not being able to have babies, but to learn more to appreciate our bodies, who we are, what we've been through, and where we're going. So I hope that this little 10-15 minute video is helpful. And if you have any questions or concerns, or just, let me know how you're feeling about going through this process, put it in the comments. I want to know. And if you have some good remedies, let me know, because the struggle is real, right?